Hey everyone, Tyler here at The Movie Beat. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a recommendations video. So in this one, I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on 10 great Korean movies to watch on date night. Of course, you can watch all of these back to back to back to back. But, you know, a lot of us are really busy. We have other obligations and we can't always be watching movies with our favorite person. So I was just thinking, you know, if you could have one night a week that you could watch a Korean movie with your favorite person. I did want to make all of these experiences memorable in their own way. So I did not want to pick just, you know, all of the same types of romantic comedy, you know, blah, 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 blah. Because there are a lot of great romantic movies in Korea, but, you know, some of them are kind of similar. I did want to make every single week unique in its own right. All right, so let's start this list off. The first one I want to recommend is called All About My Wife. It's from 2012. It's a comedy drama film, and the thing that I love about this movie is it shows that side of a relationship that starts to appear after a lot of time has been kind of put in and things, you start to get a little too comfortable. So it's very realistic on one side, but it's also really funny and kind of got its that Korean fantasy comedy style as well. It mixes really well, and this makes for a really good date night movie, especially for couples that have been together for a bit of time or you have some experience on that end. There's some comedy, there's some drama all around. It's good fun. It's a great film to put on your date night list. So that's first film I want to recommend for date night. Number two, we're moving into one of my all-time favorite Korean romantic films. It's called, well, the Korean title is Shiwore, but the English title that we all know it by is Mare, and it stars Jun Ji-hyun, Lee Jung-jae. To me, I can watch this movie anytime, any place, and I think it's just really memorable for a lot of different reasons. It's a romantic drama, more melodrama, but it deals with some interesting magical time elements. There's about this couple that meets through putting letters in a mailbox that's taking place, I think, like a 10-year difference. They realize there's some weird time travel mechanism with the mailbox. American remake of this film, I think it was called The Lake House, but this is the one to watch. Jun Ji-hyun, Lee Jung-jae. This Blu-ray is one of my favorite things that I own, and it's a simple package. It's unique how it's designed this way and sort of like a picture. That way it's kind of like landscaped here with that whole back. Yeah, but it's interesting how it's designed this way. Kind of like a mailbox. Jun Ji-hyun there. This movie, it just gives me the feels every time. I love the way it's filmed. It's got this special quality to it that's quiet, it's elegant, it's also very emotional. And it's just one that every time it ends, I get chills up my spine and I'm just like, thank you, movie gods, for making something so awesome. And it's a unique relationship because the film is kind of a fantasy drama. It's kind of a fantasy melodrama in that sense. So very unique in terms of how it presents the relationship dynamic. So I think it's perfect for this list and it's going to make a memorable date night. Number three on the list, a great movie from 2011. It's called Spellbound. This one stars Son Ye-jin, Lee Min-gi, and it is a comedy, drama, horror movie, love story film. Very interesting mix of genres, and this is one that I went into thinking, it's going to be kind of generic, even though I really like Son Ye-jin, and it blew me away how much fun I had in this movie. I just love, it's so unique in how it feels with the horror elements of it, but this is the Blu-ray from CG Entertainment Limited Edition. It's still available, so I think this is the best way to own it because this digipack is so nice looking. When you pull it out, love the purple there. Son Ye-jin's character. Lee Min-gi. I mean, how often do they pull off a horror comedy that actually really works? It's so rare. So this one definitely is unique on this list and how it's kind of like funny, scary, dramatic. It's got some great scenes of drinking in it, a lot of soju. It's a fun night. So definitely check out Spellbound, week 3 of great Korean movies to watch for date night. Moving on, number 4 is the 2018 film Intimate Strangers. This is one of the best like dinner party, uncomfortable movies that I've seen in a long time. It's about a group of friends who get together. It's kind of a reunion, and they play this game that they have to put their cell phones on the table, and any text message, any call, they have to reveal it to everybody and put it on speaker. And disaster starts happening pretty quickly as a lot of their secrets come out or get suppressed. But it's pretty amazing and awesome actors. I don't know if I have an unboxing of this one. So this is definitely one of the best Korean limited editions of a new movie that's come out ever. It's just so amazing. There's so many goodies in it. It is fully loaded. This is actually the screenplay book in here. So there's no pictures or anything in here, but it came with tons of goodies inside, like this cell phone fold out card. Definitely on my Instagram, I have a picture of this thing just completely opened up with all of its goodies inside. It's still available for the most part. You can probably find this. This is the best way to own it, but I do think it's probably available some places for streaming. But Intimate Strangers is going to make for a great date night movie. It's got a pretty warm feeling to it, and got some tension, it's got some drama, it's got some nice moments, but just overall really well done. And it's also about several couples, and all of the couples kind of have their own unique issues and problems, and I think it's just very representative of many types of couples and relationships. So it's really one of the great relationship movies that I've seen in Korea. So this one would make a great date night film. Moving on, no date night list would be complete without its raunchy sex comedy, My PS Partner, aka What You Wearin'. My PS Partner, that stands for My Phone Sex Partner. So maybe that didn't really translate very well for the English title, so they put it What You Wearin'. Maybe you would text that to somebody. But this is another one that will just blow you away on how well it's done for being, sort of a raunchy romantic comedy. Really blew me away. I loved it. So this is the CJ Entertainment Limited Edition, Digipack Edition, and it's again just, you can't say enough good things about these things. Just amazing. It actually came with a little book inside, which is more common nowadays, but not included in all of them, so kind of nice. This one will surprise you in a lot of different ways, because some of these movies, they kind of go really low and they never reach like a moment where you feel like, wow, this is actually a good film. This one actually was able to, get those raunchy moments, but also other moments where like, I don't see it that dramatic and that serious in a movie that's trying to be a dramatic, serious movie. So it really ticks a lot of boxes, and it's going to make a great date night movie. And it's, got to have a raunchy sex comedy in here. So this is going to be a great one to include on your list. Check it out. What You Wearin', My PS Partner. So the next one on the list, I want to make this, like I said, as memorable of a date night week as possible. And I don't just always want to see a romantic comedy relationship movie on date night. Sometimes I want to change it up, and I think watching a thriller with your favorite person is a great way to spend date night. Maybe you got to, causes you to snuggle up close. It's pretty tense moments. So if I'm going to pick a thriller for this list, I got to pick one of the best Korean thrillers ever made. That is The Chaser. Na Hong-jin really made his name with this film. It is mind-blowing how good it is. You have to watch The Chaser, and it's going to be you can probably stream this in many different places like Amazon, or there's a lot of different places you can stream this, but getting the Blu-ray would be extremely difficult at this point unless you already own it. So this is one that I am praying we'll see a remaster or perhaps a 4K Blu-ray with all this new interest in Korean film, because this one came out in 2008 and it was one of them that reminded everybody why Korea was the best place to go for thrillers. Kim Yoon-suk, Ha Jung-woo, oh my god, check out The Chaser. It's gonna make a date night like you will never forget. Next one on the list, I think, is one of the more polished, well done romantic comedy films modern day. It kind of reminds me a lot of another film that's going to be on this list. I'll mention it a little bit later, but it's called Love 911. It came out in 2012. It stars Han Hyo-joo and Go-soo. It's about a firefighter who meets a doctor. Both of them aren't particularly good at their job. They're both dealing with their own issues, but the thing that I like about this movie is that it really defies a lot of some of the expectations you have with the characters and how they establish themselves in the beginning of this movie. So it's actually, I had a lot of laugh out loud moments in this one, and it's just, if I thought of what a romantic comedy is supposed to be, this is kind of what I would imagine a romantic comedy film is, or something to aspire to be like. So obviously it's not very realistic in a lot of ways, but that is just setting for, it kind of feels kind of sitcom-y at times, but so well done, and the supporting characters in this one are awesome. So Love 911, gotta recommend it. Han Hyo-joo, she plays a very strange, quirky character, and so it's a really hard one to forget. I think it's gonna make a great date night if you guys like romantic comedies. So definitely check out Love 911, part of the list. Great watches for date night. All right, the next one on the list is a very different movie and how it approaches its relationship. I've really never seen anything quite like it on the big screen because it is such a dark topic, a dark material. It's called Maundy Thursday. I only have the DVD disc to show you. I don't have the case with me. This one stars Kang Dong-won and Lee Na-young, and it's about this woman who, played by Lee Na-young, she's suicidal. She's got this terrible relationship with her family. Her brothers are kind of okay, but her mother, and she's had all these suicide attempts, and her aunt, or grandma, who is a nun, takes her to go meet this convicted criminal who's on death row, played by Kang Dong-won, who's, you know, getting ready to die, but they form this relationship while he's on death row. And it is about it, these two characters are so unlikable, and it is such a dark, bleak movie. But the way that this twists, it has one of the most emotional endings ever, and it's a movie about forgiveness. There's a lot of Christian kind of undertones in it. It's very Christian in its theme and forgiveness, but I've never seen a movie so much where I hated the characters at the beginning, and at the end I was like, all right, not that bad, these people. But they do form this relationship, and they develop a strong love bond that's very unique. Really haven't seen anything like it. So this one is a frustrating first half, and I'm sorry to frustrate you on date night. So if you can get through this one all the way to the end, you're gonna be like, whoa, that was a pretty sad date night. Sorry about that, but great relationship movie, and I want to hit, like I said, all the different modes of feeling for date night. And I think it's important to share that with your partner. So great, Maundy Thursday, check it out. This one came out in 2006, so gonna be maybe hard to track down, but if you can find it, Maundy Thursday, put it on your list. It's a tough one, so that's a warning, tough one. The next one on this list that I think will be great on date night, and it will hopefully lighten the mood from the previous week of Maundy Thursday. It's called Scandal Makers. It stars Cha Tae-hyun, Park Bo-young, and it's about this former like teen idol played by Cha Tae-hyun, who's this DJ host, and he's encouraging this woman who's calling in to go meet her estranged father, and it ends up being him. So this woman shows up on his door with this kid. He's not that old, so he's pretty blown away by it because she's kind of a grown, I would say she's maybe 20 years old in the movie, and she's got like a 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid that moves in with him. He's so against it. He doesn't like kids or anything, and it's hilarious. And the kid is probably the cutest kid I've ever seen in a Korean movie. It's just adorable. It's got a lot of laugh out loud moments and some great songs in it. So there's a lot of musical numbers, not musical numbers, but they sing some songs because the family is very musically inclined. But this movie is just so enjoyable, and I think it's gonna make a great date night. A lot of family vibes in it. So definitely check it out. Scandal Makers, from 2008. Check it out. Great movie for date night. All right, the last one on the list is, you've guessed it because you're asking, where is it? It's My Sassy Girl, and it's probably the first romantic comedy film that I saw, Korean romantic comedy film that I saw that I thought, is this my new favorite genre? Oh my God, how do I tell my friends? Jung Ji-hyun, Cha Tae-hyun again, so you'll see him from Scandal Makers. You saw her from Ilmar, which you watched earlier in the list, so you'll know these actors really well by this time, and this is kind of the breakout. This was a huge movie, and it's one that I would share with my friends in America if I could, bring them over, because I had to get my all-region DVD. Couldn't really share it that easily, but everybody who watched it was like, "Oh my God, that was so good!" It's hilarious. It's sad. Like I said, that movie that you watched earlier, Love 911. Is kind of like the updated version of this, but it's also very different. You just couldn't ask for a better romantic comedy film when it comes to My Sassy Girl. And this is the Nova Media limited edition that came out. It's a pretty awesome package. Love the art, love the book. They didn't do the dream job when it comes to mastering this and upgrading it, but I think we're going to all have to accept that a lot of the early Korean films from the early 2000s just were not perhaps kept very well. A lot of them have a lot of damage for whatever reason, but it's as best as it's going to look, this version. So I highly recommend picking up this Blu-ray of My Sassy Girl. And if you completed this 10-week great movies to watch on date night list, you will have, in my opinion, a very good picture of the different kinds of love stories, except maybe for The Chaser, that can be offered in Korean cinema. So very curious to hear what you guys would add if you could put one on date night on this list. So there's a ton, I admit, there's a ton that could have been included on this list. So what is your memorable date night Korean movie, or what is one that you would have hoped made this list? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Tyler at The Movie Beat. If you like, please like and subscribe so I can know kind of exactly how to make this channel going forward. So thanks again, everybody. Until next time, keep watching movies.